we are back with
man?
my man,
Okay.
Nelson Dedos Garcia is in the house.
Si,
So,
senor.
you know, my man. Now, when you fall in love with art, man?
At a very early age, I would say it hit me 5, 4, perhaps. I always loved art. I always wanted to draw.
Yeah.
My father was an artist, and I used to look up to him. And, well, he didn't go too far with that, but he definitely sparked that fire in me. So I would say ever since then, since I was very young. And then it kind of evolved, and as I got older, and one thing leads to the other, and then many challenges are defeated.
Many challenges,
Right.
man. Because now, your kids are also taking up the artwork too, right?
Yeah.
Are you kind of leading them in that path, or are they choosing it themselves?
Well, I'm not really telling them what to do,
Yeah.
how to live their life. I just know how to live mine.
Yeah.
And I feel like I live, a somewhat ethical lifestyle. Good enough for my kids to follow if they choose to, but they have their own identities and their own paths that they're on it, and they're all artistic. And I think it just comes naturally with just being, in tune with self.
Right.
We're all artistic. We all have this creativity in us that wants to come out, whether it's in any. And there's many forms to it, right? For me, it just so happens to be with my fingers, which is my name. My name means dedos.
Dedos.
Fingers in Spanish.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you go to school for this stuff?
I went to animation school for a year.
Yeah.
Which was, like leaps and bounds for me. I'm so glad I had the opportunity for that. I won a scholarship to go to the film school here, and that was a long shot for me. I never thought I would do that.
Right.
I never thought animation was for me. I always thought that was, it was too difficult, back then. And until some friends, they said, well, you have potential, just give it a shot. And then I applied to some animation studios, and I was working as a storyboard artist.
Yeah.
And then after that, I applied for the scholarship, and then I got in, and then my whole world changed at that point. I just learned how to draw properly, from life, and how to do characters, and all the missing factors that are involved with being well-rounded, So I'm very glad for that. I'm very grateful, and I'm, always be grateful for that. And it's helped me so much.
You definitely have to. With animation though, now you got into hip hop animation, right?
Well, that was my own choice to take it that way. I mean, I could have gone fully into the animation world, but my own graffiti in me, which I grew up with first, that comes out in my art.
Right.
And I see a lot of that in a lot of artists, but for me in particular, I think I have a certain style, certain look, so it comes out naturally, I guess.
I think we got you brought some photos.
Yeah.
Because I know we're going to show some photos, man, and I want you to, when we see these things, I want you to just tell me about them.
Sure.
When we put these things up on the screen here. Like this right here.
So yeah, that's my man, Kevin Chaos, and I've known him for a long time, so he's always dug my work. So just grateful to have another opportunity to work with him.
Yeah.
This is a personal piece. I've always wanted the chance to do a Star Wars style in characters.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll turn into the saga, who knows. But
Hey,
yeah.
You never know.
You never know.
And then my man, Do the Right Thing with some Spike Lee.
Well, that was a huge inspiration for me growing up. I've always wanted to give back in some art form.
Yeah.
So, this is a series that I'm trying to do. Hip-hop icons, I call it.
That's Maestro.
Maestro Mishimi. It's just the beginning of a dream that I had. It's just really just for fun. I just wanted to create this series of hip-hop iconic
dope,
people that really influenced my life and my friends around me growing up in Van City, So, that's it.
Now,
really.
we know the animation is there. Could you not have taken, but now you do, what is it? It's Battle of the Brush.
Yeah.
Right? Now, how is that different from just sitting back and doing animation?
Well, it's quite different because everyone's watching you.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not too great painting in front of people like that. So but you gotta take these challenges just to push you to get better.
Yeah.
And I'm always trying to challenge myself all the time.
There you go.
Yeah.
Are you an emotional painter
very.
or just even keel?
I'm emotional right now. Yeah. I put all my emotion into my work.
Yeah.
You rarely see it like in me as a person. I keep everything internal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what my family tells me. Anyway.
Yeah.
But that's the way I was made. I express myself through my work, and that's partly why I chose the name Dedos, because it says what I am. How I express myself in this life.
Yeah.
It's through my hands.
Man, it's nice though, man, because you can see when we went up and saw your paintings just a minute, looking at it, you can see kind of that emotion coming out of you. I mean, what type of feeling are you feeling, man, when you see your stuff like that?
Well, it's funny because it's battle of the brush. It's kind of I'm battling myself when I'm doing it, and I have my internal demons that are trying to push me down while I'm doing something. So I'm battling it internally. It's like a spiritual battle.
Yeah.
For me, every time I do anything, it's always a challenge. So, but I come out victorious every time.
Every time.
So it's just a constant struggle, and that's just a lot of life that we live as humans.
Exactly. Let me get you on the grind question, man, because you're an artist and an animator.
Yeah.
And when life takes art,
Yeah.
right? Now, when there's everyone else out there who is trying to do art, but they don't have that kind of passion, what can you tell these people who want to do art to inspire them to be the next Dedos?
Just pray for passion. Just, you know what? It's all about wanting it so bad.
Yeah.
If you really want it that bad, life will show a way to make it happen for you. It's really it's between you and God when it comes down to it.
Exactly.
Just God will provide for you if that's what you want. And if it's meant for you in this life, then the path will be laid out for you. It's just a matter of how badly you want something. For me, I still want it that bad. I'm still hungry for that position. So I'm constantly grinding.
Exactly.
That's why I'm here.
Hey man, now where do you see your artwork and animation going in the next few years?
Well, that's the thing too. I like to envision where my work is at in 10, 15 years from now. And I see it on the big screen. That's honestly where I see it. Whether it's like my characters in a movie, or if I'm actually animating, or if I'm directing it, then I partake in the animation part as well. I just like to get my hands on everything when I do a project. So if I ever get to that level, God willing, then I will be fully immersed into that project, as much as possible. But, on the day-to-day, I'm an art director on my job, and I'm fully immersed in what I do. And my team, I'm kind of leading my team and stuff. So, it's, I think everything's leading up to that point.
Exactly.
I've worked so hard to get where I am now, and I'm still climbing that mountain.
Exactly.
Right? So,
because that's going to lead me to that next one. I mean, how hard has it been for you to get to this point right now?
Well, blood, sweat, and tears, man.
Hey, man, all the time. It's the grind. The grind is all them tears that's running on,
But with that comes beautiful things.
Exactly.
So there's a beauty in the struggle, right? And that I think life has to always be a struggle in order to create beauty.
Yeah.
Just the way it is. Just the dichotomy of the balance of the universe. It's the explosion, and we're just constantly evolving from that. So,
hey man, you know what? You still battling it, man, and that's the good part. Now, I know the emotion's there, but I also want to know. I mean, where do you feel most at peace?
Well, I feel a sense of peace when I finish a piece. I feel grateful that I have the opportunity, that I have my limbs to even produce something. So there's so much gratitude in afterwards when I'm finished something, or during while I'm doing it as well. But I honestly don't find solitude, peace, unless I'm in the meditative state.
Right.
And I do practice meditation on a daily. So I try to be in that always, and that helps me to get through the day as well. Because there's a lot of things that I got to take on, a lot of responsibilities, you know, as a family man as well, that I have to be on top of all my game.
Exactly.
You know? So.
When you paint, I mean, now, when you pick up the brush, is it different than when you sit on the computer and you're animating? I mean, what's the difference?
Well, there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of look at working in Photoshop as kind of cheating, you know, because there's so many things you can erase and there's layers you can just make disappear and whatever. But when you're working, you know, on a physical piece, like there's no cheating allowed. Like you have to, you know, do everything in a certain order, actually, in order to execute the look that you want. But overall, that's a technique that you have to just practice at. And, you know, nowadays it's easy to learn from. Just go on YouTube. You can find lots of artists that are teaching this type of technique. So, you know, I never had that growing up. I always had to, like, learn on my own, make mistakes, learn from them. But now, you know, I've jumped a lot just by searching online and finding people that are doing stuff that I want to do. And I feel like it's excelled me so much further than I could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that as well. But overall, it's they're two different worlds.
Man, hey man, you've done some good stuff, man. Now what's gonna be next for you, yo?
Well, I think I don't have any real plans other than just I'm working with a lot of you know, people that are trying to help me to get to the next level. So I don't want to mention too many names.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people I'm working with. At the same time, I have my own personal dreams. You know, like the series that I'm working on, I'd like to see that lift off and go places.
There you go.
Grow legs and eventually grow wings and fly. Who knows? I'm just trying to have fun in the moment and just do what I want to do, what I've always wanted to do, because I feel like I could die tomorrow and I don't have the opportunity to do the dreams that I wanted to. I don't want to live in regret either, so I'm just trying to just have fun, be a kid again. You know, this is what it's all about, just being a kid. Because for me, my sole purpose for being alive when I was young was to draw, and the feeling I got from that, and I still have that, and I'm super thankful that I still have it, because I think that's what fuels me to just take on those challenges, internal challenges that you know, excel me. And every time I take a challenge, it gets me better and better.
Nice.
You know, it's like my name is an acronym as well.
Exactly.
Dedos, draw every day or suffer, and that's basically my life.
You know
I
what?
will suffer if I don't draw every day.
That's what we're going down right there, man. Hey, this is my man, Nelson Dedos Garcia. Make sure you see him wherever he's painting, do something, go find him. Look him up on Facebook or Instagram, whatever it is, on his website. I want to thank my man, Mr. McDonald, for coming out, performing. You know what I mean? Listen, you know what time it is, y'all. You know who this is. Your man Valentine. You think it's your time to shine? You need to get on the ground with your man Valentine, baby. My man, Nelson Dedos Garcia. Tom McDonald. Facebook me, tweet me, Instagram. Do what you got to do. We out. Thank all the sponsors, too.
Thank you.
Keep you